I felt like he read my mail. I had no idea that I had frozen away all of this pain. But when he said it to me, I knew it was true. I knew it was true and explained a lot about why I would feel so numb sometimes and feel like I couldn't feel, didn't know why I would become sad or angry or afraid. Hi, I'm glad you're here. I'm Marnie, and this is the beginning of a set of stories that I'd like to share with you of the things that Jesus has done in my life to redeem me and set me free and take my life from the place of being in ashes to being likened to a diamond by him. And I just don't know for sure if I'm going to get a chance to write this all into a book. And I know that that was in the Lord's heart. So I feel like I'm going to do it in chapter form in a way, stories and miracles and principles that have helped my life to heal. And I hope that it will be helpful in helping your life to heal. I hope that there will be parts of the story and principles that you can pull from it that will be powerful for you. Um, it's my desire that you would be rooted and grounded, literally grounded into the love of Jesus, that it would bring you into a new kind of steadiness that you've never experienced before, that it would heal places of your heart that feel fractured and divided from who you know you really are meant to be. So I'd like to share parts of my story with you, and I'll break it into different chapters as we go along. I'd like to tell you the story of the meat locker. When I walked into the counselor's office that day, I was coming with a heart that had been both physically and spiritually and emotionally pummeled. I felt like my life was like fine powder. And I actually had told the Lord at one point, I know that you've got these beautiful illustrations that I hear from other people about stained glass windows, and they're wonderful illustrations. They're stories of a person being broken and then those pieces being put back together into this beautiful pattern that makes something more beautiful than it ever could have been before it all broke. But I had to be honest with God and say, I don't think there's that much left of me. I don't think there's enough left of me to make a stained glass window. I feel like fine powder and I feel crushed. I didn't even know what color I liked anymore. I had been in an extremely abusive relationship and I had nearly lost my life because I believed that I needed to stay and try to be a better wife. And I fell for a lie that kept me trapped there. In order to survive what became a very, very violent relationship, I really carefully avoided feeling anything because I wanted always to be very attentive and alert and watchful to be sure that I was um, fully being sensitive, attentive, caring, present as much as I knew how. And it felt like feeling anything at all would just get in the way. So I walked into a counselor's office after walking through all this devastation. And one of the things that she suggested to me, one of the times that we met, she said, I'm really sensing that it would be good for us to invite Jesus to show you a picture of your heart. And this was a completely foreign concept to me, completely foreign. I had never asked Jesus for a picture of anything, much less of my heart. But to her, and she seems to be this wise, calm, um, peaceful, beautiful believer. And I thought, well, it doesn't seem strange to her. It feels really new to me. I'll just ask because she's encouraging me to ask, and she seems to know what she's doing. So I asked for a picture of my heart, closed my eyes, asked for a picture of my heart, and immediately in front of me in this picture I get is this door. And I know instinctively that this is a door to a meat locker, a meat freezer. We had one in the little town I grew up in at the butcher shop, and this door was complete with the same sort of handle. It had this creaky handle that you pulled down towards you. And now I'm curious because I get the feeling that if I open that door, that I can open that door and that I can look inside and find out what's there. And I wanted to know what was inside. I felt really strange about having a picture of a meat locker when we prayed for something about my heart, but now I'm curious. So I reached for the door in this picture and I pulled on the handle. It's rusty. It's sound effects and everything. It's more than a picture. And sure enough, frozen meat packages. There's shelves around the room of, that butcher paper, that white meat wrapper. Maybe you've never seen meat wrapped this way, but when you have a butcher shop, you wrap it in this white wrapping paper and you mark what kind of beef it is. And there's all these packages that are wrapped in this white butcher paper. Plus, there's a couple sides of beef hanging from hooks up in the ceiling. And I'm like, I close the door and I'm thinking, I am not going to tell her what I saw because clearly I don't know how to do this very well and I better try again. But she could see on my face that I'd seen something. I said, let's try it again. What I saw, I don't think I did it right. And she said, well, would you mind telling me, what you saw? So I told her, expecting her to say, yeah, we should do it again. And she said, well, how about if we ask Jesus what that might mean? And I thought, well, you're taking this seriously? So I asked him. I wasn't used to asking Jesus anything like that. And clear inside my heart, I heard, Marnie, that is a picture of your heart. Those are frozen packages of pain. And I would like to have your permission to begin to defrost them. Oh, wow. He totally came through the back door. I felt like he read my mail. I had no idea that I had frozen away all of this pain. But when he said it to me, I knew it was true. I knew it was true and explained a lot about why I would feel so numb sometimes and feel like I couldn't feel, didn't know why I would become sad or angry or afraid, why I felt disconnected, why I struggled to relate with other people's emotions, why I sometimes didn't feel like I was empathetic. So Jesus began a journey with me. Hi, welcome to the Ashes to Diamond channel. I'm so grateful that you were here today to hear this part of the story. Part 2 is going to be continued in another video. And if you'd like to hear the entirety of the healing stories and tools, you can also go to my friends and family channel, which is called Looking to the Day. I'm so glad that you joined me. Please come back for part 2. I'm praying that God will really touch your heart and bring healing to you, to deeply connect you with Jesus. Have a great day.